When it comes to having food, you can either have a greasy, low-quality junk food or instead have a fresh, organic and homemade meal. The first one can ruin your body and take you here, or sadly even here, and the second one can transform you into this, or even this one. Surprisingly, the same principle applies to your sex life. So if you do like sex, I invite you to set aside your ego, keep an open mind, pay close attention because this video is for you. When it comes to having sex, there are so many different ways that you can relate to your partner. On one side of the spectrum, there is the most basic and unhealthiest way of having sex, the junk food of the sex world, you may say. And we call this one shagging. And on the other end, there is love making, which is nurturing, empowering, respectful, and is filled with pleasure. To make love, first you need to know what lovemaking isn't. And that is why in this video I'm going to explore the dark world of shagging, which is the opposite of lovemaking. Consensual shagging, sadly, is one of the most common ways that people have sex. And it's probably the most damaging and disrespectful ways that you can relate to someone sexually. Shagging is mainly a physical act and it doesn't require any emotional nor mental connection. Sometimes you don't even need to be attracted to someone to shag them. If you're a shagger, then your motivation to enter sex is to fulfill your own needs. Your main objective is to focus on you and take as much as you can with very little effort to actually give or pleasure your partner. That is why shagging is extremely goal-oriented and selfish in nature. You may sleep with someone just so you can satisfy a fantasy, feed your ego, reach an orgasm, add a number to your list, or to gain power, reputation, and even money. In shagging, there is no we, only I. What can I get? What do I want? You don't basically care about who your partner is. He or she can be anybody, but as long as they satisfy your needs, you shag them. This terrible way of intimacy needs no compassion, no kindness, and no love. Shagging is a byproduct of the male-female superiority complex, and it has turned sex into a power dynamic where each person tries to prove his or her worth. Men who believe they are sexually superior to women look at females as sexual objects that exist to be hunted down, conquered, and then fucked. They could not care less about what a woman wants, how to pleasure her, nor have much respect for her. Male shaggers express unhealthy masculine and anger during sex and use it to show what a strong and powerful man they are. They believe they have to be the king of the bedroom, so they turn sex into a war and behave in the most obnoxious ways. They assume just because they could insert the penis into a woman's vagina while not even know her name, they are the boss. However, what most of these men don't recognize is that the main reason behind their demeaning behavior is nothing but a deep-rooted wound, lack of self-love and self-respect. It is their inner child that is screaming for attention. The little boy inside that thinks by treating someone else poorly, he would gain power. But I believe if any man who had love and respect for himself and was a true confident lover would never look down at a woman and objectify her sexually. On the other hand, women who suffer from inferiority mindset express the unhealthy feminine and use sex to manipulate men. When women recognize their sexual power, they compromise their pleasure in exchange to gain control over men. In this power dynamic, women also enter sex to seek validation and approval. Since they believe they're worth less, they try to do anything to keep their man. They are usually afraid to be alone, so they allow men to shag them just to be accepted and have an opportunity to be intimate with someone. Most of these women have a very difficult time asking for what they want, to stand up for themselves, so they let their partner to use them sexually. And as a result, they lose their touch with their inner feminine, their sensuality, and feel even more inferior. Shagging is also inspired by porn. Porn, which is mainly targeted towards men, shows a very wrong and one-sided picture of sex. Many men who learn sex through porn consider their partner as a sex tool and expect her to act slutty, to be completely submissive, and to make sure that he gets his orgasm at the end. They just want to fuck, come, and that's it. Women who are also inspired by porn have turned into men pleasers in the bedroom. They end up believing that the main objective during sex is to act slutty and to serve their man. And as a result, they ignore their own pleasure and have a very unsatisfied sex life. Have you ever slept with someone and you didn't want to do anything with them afterwards? The tightness in your chest and the feeling of being trapped? Well, since shagging has no real depth and is merely a chase to satisfy your bodily needs, once they're fulfilled, you are left with a deep sense of emptiness. That is why shame, guilt, resentment, and feeling of being manipulated are some of the side effects of shagging. So no matter if you're a man or a woman, as long as you're trapped in a shagging mindset, you will suffer. If you're a male shagger, you never get to truly appreciate, understand, adore, cherish, and become one with women. You never get to truly serve and satisfy your most desired beings in the world. And if you're a woman, remember that by falling into the world of shagging, you will have a very difficult time gaining respect and creating a deep and meaningful connection. Please keep in mind that I do not blame men nor women for such a messed up dynamic. I only blame the ignorance, the lack of education, and the collective unconsciousness that have infected our sexuality and turned sex into a war. There is no real winner in shagging. There is no love in any war, only pain, misery, and separation. So to recognize whether you're a shagger or not, please think about the following questions. Would you like your daughter, your mother, or your sister to be treated the same way that you treat your partner sexually? Would you like your best friend or your female relatives to go through the same experience that you go through? And if your answer is no, then you must be aware. The first thing you need to do is to be very, very honest with yourself and realize whether you fall on the low side of the spectrum. And if you do, then set aside your damn ego and accept it. I know it can hurt to admit, but acceptance is the most crucial step in changing any shortcoming. Be kind and remind yourself that it's not your fault, but the unconsciousness. Then decide to change your behavior and begin to respect yourself and your partner. It doesn't really matter who you were. What matters the most is who you want to become. But don't worry if you don't know how, because it is my mission to create awareness and guide you on your path of becoming a superior lover. And remember that knowing how to make love is a skill, and like any other skills, you can learn and master it. So make sure to subscribe, because every video in this channel will shed more light on how to evolve as a sexual being. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and join the love revolution, as our goal is to change the world into a safer, sexier, more respectful, and loving place.